I'd like to call to order the December council meeting for the Mayor and City Council, City of Taneytown, and ask Councilman Frazier to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. Chilly Monday evening. Good to have you all here. Our first order of business is the approval of the minutes for the meetings on November 7th and November 13th, both regular meetings. Anyone care to make a motion to approve one or both sets of those minutes?
I make a motion that we approve both sets of minutes.
And a second? Any discussion?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. That's carried. I need to ask if there's any conflict of interest among the council, any item on the agenda tonight.
No, sir.
No.
All right, before we get into the agenda itself, I just happened to glance at my email while I was waiting for the meeting to begin and noticed that Taneytown was named the 7th safest city in Maryland this year. So that's very good. We were up from 8 last year, so very proud of that. And thank you, Brian, and you can relay that message to all the folks down the station. Also, I'd like to say how remarkable I think our new lights in the park are, thanks to Councilwoman Fuller and all her helpers. I was really impressed. I mean, I didn't expect it to be nearly as spectacular. I kind of played it close to the vest at the Christmas tree writing, but if I'd known it was going to be that nice, I would have revved it up a little bit.
Well, spread the word.
I will. So please have a chance to get down to the park and look at the Christmas lights. If you haven't done that, it's worth the trip. Resolution, ordinances, and agreements. We have for introduction tonight, Ordinance 07, 2018, the zoning map correction. You'll recall on Wednesday we discussed the errors or the omissions, I guess, that were made when we drew up our last meeting, our last map, and this will simply correct that. Anybody have any questions on that?
I think my only question is, the next step, there'll be a public hearing next month?
Correct. Typically, we would have the hearing on the workshop evening and then be able to vote on it for the business meeting the following Monday. So with the potential schedule for next month, it may have to be all in one evening.
One meeting, okay.
All right. And for adoption tonight, we have Resolution 2018-13, the water allocation for December. Care to make a motion to approve the water allocation?
So moved. Diane's
Here a second. On discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign, so carried. Next is Ordinance 08-2018, amendments to the campaign finance ordinance. Anyone care to make a motion to approve or in one way or the other on that?
Oh, I think they should be up for introduction tonight. They're listed under the wrong section, correct?
I agree with that.
Because we introduced them at the Wednesday we were talking about introducing them at the Wednesday workshops. They would be up for introduction tonight.
That's
I
correct.
think ordinances, yes, it would have to be introduction this evening.
All right, okay, so I make a motion that we introduce
I think
ordinance.
you're right. You're absolutely right. Both of these.
Yes.
So I make a motion that we introduce ordinance 08-2018 campaign finance ordinance.
For a
Second?
second. Any discussion? All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed to it. I don't think the Ethics Commission should be given that amount of finding authority.
Okay. All right, and next is ordinance 09, 2018, the amendment to the ethics ordinance.
Same thing. I move that we introduce this evening.
Second?
Second.
Oh, sorry.
Any discussion? And I think you just stated opposition to that, Councilor Frazier. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So carried. City Manager's report. Jim, do you have anything additional for us this evening?
Just a quick follow-up on the national flood insurance. The packet did get submitted to FEMA. It actually turned out to be today rather than Friday, but MDE did get it in FEMA's hands as of 5 o'clock today, so now we wait, but it's in the process.
Oh, good.
And you may be aware our Sustainable Communities designation was awarded in 2013. It's expired. We're kind of on borrowed time right now. The state is aware that we intend to apply for renewal, and the Sustainable Community Work Group, all the members who were involved back in 2013 were willing to re-up to help us through our renewal, and that group's going to be meeting next week, so hopefully we'll have a draft application with some luck for the January meeting. So we've expressed to the state that, we're hoping to have it ready by February for approval.
As a reminder, sustainable communities is very important, not only from a standpoint of being able to maintain our communities in a positive growth mode and maintain the services and other things that we provide our citizens, but it's also very important to help us qualify for some funds that are available through the state. And quite frankly, it's the carrot in the stick. It's the carrot part that we're going for with the sustainable communities. Any questions for Jim? Any questions on the department reports?
Real quick question for you, Jim. Where are we on the belt filter press? Because the money was approved, is that correct?
I think it's, I don't think we've approved the actual purchase, but I think we agreed to encumber those funds for the belt filter press.
Okay. I know last update we had was they were trying to figure out which technology press they wanted to go for, and it's been several months. I wasn't sure what progress has been made.
I don't know if Public Works has made a final decision on the specific piece of equipment yet. We will have more information on that as we launch into the budget season. I think that's going to be a capital equipment purchase that we're scheduling for FY20. So
Okay.
when we move ahead on the capital equipment, that's going to be pretty much top of the list.
Okay, thank you.
As you notice, our attorney's not with us this evening. I'm sure he's off globetrotting somewhere. But nevertheless, if you have any questions regarding the legal report from last week, we'll be sure to relay them to him. Does anybody have any questions that
Well, I
have
just
come to
wanna-
mind since Jay
On Wednesday-
presented his information?
He was here on Wednesday and gave a legal report. I just wanted to point out that I listened carefully to some of what he said about the election schedule. And when a person files for office, they're filed for office. They're not nominated for office. And then it would take an act of a judge to remove them from the ballot. And I think that when they went through the order of the process of becoming a candidate, I think there was some confusion in that report.
I would encourage you to look at our code and charter to get answers to that, because you're actually incorrect. They do have to be confirmed by the Board of Elections to be on the ballot.
Well, I think the election judges are judges.
We have our own election
We
board,
have
just
our
like the
own.
county and the state do. Our election board is an independent board that functions just like the state board of
But when a
elections.
person files for office, they're filed for office. And,
Well, I
he
mean,
used the word nomination. I just wanted to correct that. If you could communicate that with him, that would be fine. I think that was accurate.
I'm sure that he'll appreciate that you disagree, but.
No, I just noticed the use of that word,
Well,
and
that-
so did others in the room. so-
Right, well, that word is used in our charter, under section 508, particularly called nominations. That is the process that the city uses. So as I said, look at the charter and the code, and you'll get a better understanding of how all of that works.
The charter is just like the Constitution. We can be stronger than the Constitution, we can't be weaker than the Constitution. Okay. Monthly financial report. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the monthly financial report?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So carried. Next is the accounts payable. Anybody like to make a motion to approve the accounts payable?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So carried. Next, we have the Creekside Infrastructure and Surety reduction. Discussed last Wednesday night, Creekside's about ready to fold up their tent and go home. And, or at least the contractors are. We need to reduce their line of credit if it be your desire. Anyone care to make a motion to do that?
I'll make a motion, we do that.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like signs, okay. Last Wednesday, I suggested maybe we postpone or eliminate the workshop for what, January.
January.
I only wish it were July. Wow.
Yeah, July sounds good about that.
And attend our MML reception in Annapolis. Anyone care to make a motion to do that?
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. That's wonderful. And the final item under new business tonight is the Memorial Park Gazebo Bid Award. Would care to make a motion to approve the Memorial Park
Move that we
Gazebo
approve it.
Award? Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign.
I am opposed.
You're opposed?
I am, sir. Thank you.
Okay, very good. All right. Council member.
Oh, Mr. Mayor, before we go into council member reports, are there any updates on the Civil War Memorial? Because you'd mentioned on Wednesday night that you might have something for us tonight.
I haven't. I have a call in to the landowner, but I haven't had a response yet. So don't know anything new nothing more than I knew last Wednesday.
Thank you.
Now we'll move into council member reports if there's no other new business. Councilman Frazier, do you have some report for us?
Yeah, I'd just like to say that it's been fun during the Christmas holiday to attend many of the events for Christmas. Two of them I'd like to mention publicly, and that is both held on December 18th. The Taneytown Lions Club is having their quarterly raffle event. That is a nice meal event at the Activities Building at 6 o'clock. It's very affordable and fun to do, and I'd encourage people to attend that. At the same time, the Taneytown Chamber of Commerce is touring the York Street Bed and Breakfast. It's right next door to your house, I think, isn't it, Mr. Mayor?
Pretty close.
And they're going to
Pretty
have a
close.
reception for members there, and would like all people to know about that and come out to that. That'll be a fun event, and encourage folks to attend these events.
Thank you. Councilman Wance.
I have I have nothing from Planning Commission, but I do want to remind everyone that the fire company's Breakfast with Santa looks like it's December 22nd from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Encourage everyone to go out there and support the fire department, get a good breakfast, and Santa's going to be there. So, and that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Is that at the activities building?
It is, yes, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Foster, what do you have for us?
Nothing.
Well then,
With confidence, even.
Councilman Vigliotti, how about you?
Just one very exciting and brief thing this evening. You'll notice that No Shave November has carried on over into December for our police department because they are continuing the program with Beards for Hope, in which they are continuing their charitable collecting. Sunday, December 16th, at both Kenny's and Food Line, they're going to be conducting a Pack the Police Car event where you can donate non-perishable food items to them. It's a simple, easy thing to do, but it's a wonderful way for the community to come together in support of a good cause, and I would encourage everybody to do that. And in addition to that, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays.
Thank you, Joan. Councilwoman Fuller, how about you?
I just kind of wanted to give a shout out to Fern Rodkey because they were able to get these poles all lit with, I actually think it was less than half of what they had originally given us a number
Wow.
for. So they were able to find a way to do it cheaper.
That's
and
great.
I
That's
appreciate
the real,
that
that's the
very,
real
very
Christmas
much.
spirit.
Yes. And Randy and John from our crew that helped me get those snowflakes up and running. And then John Carl and his family donated a lot of the Christmas stuff that's out at the park. So I just wanted to shout out their name and tell them
Very
thank
nice,
you very
very
much.
I want to take this opportunity to wish everybody, council and those in attendance and all the citizens a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We won't meet again till mid-January, which seems like a long time, but at least it'll be 35, 40 days closer to spring.
Closer to
So
July,
that's
as you
good thing.
Closer to July.
Good, thanks. I enjoyed the Christmas tree lighting. I thought it was very well attended, even though it was very brisk. I thought we had a nice crowd and good participation, and the town is really looks nice. I mean, it just really, really looks nice, and I want to thank Judy and I have, but everybody that's been a participant in this. You know, a lot of the decorations that you see around town came from citizens donated to make the season bright, to quote the lyric. And that's the kind of stuff that small towns can do. And that's what makes it so special to be in a town like Taneytown. And I just want to hope that momentum builds into other things and it continues, our community efforts continue on, and that's really great. One other thing that I just wanted to mention, you know, that this time for council member reports is to pretty much give a summarization on the liaison relationships you have with the various departments. And I'm not being critical in any way, but I had a citizen write me an email last week and say he's been watching different council members or council meetings on the internet, and he was particularly interested in or particularly impressed with the report that the police chief gave down in Mount Airy. He would come before the council and he'd give them a report. Wonder if we could do something of the same. And I explained to him that, well, we have departmental reports and our council liaisons will give reports. But I don't know that we need to do anything different than what we're doing now, but maybe more input, more detail, it would be a help to some citizens. And I'm not saying you have to go to whole big deal and write a report. I mean, we've got it right here in the minutes, but I encourage you to bring out any kind of highlights. Joe did a good job a minute ago talking about the packed police car thing, that's a good idea. But that's just a comment that I have made, something we can think about for other times.
I'll run it by the chief.
I'm gonna encourage you to keep that going on.
Jim, were we supposed to think about dates for our
Retreat.
retreat?
Speaking of the retreat, right?
So,
You have any dates to throw out to us, Jim?
No, it's
it's up
entirely up
to
to
us.
you. Entirely up to you.
Are we aiming
Are
for
we talking
February or?
January or February?
Well, what do you think? What's the consensus?
February 2nd is good for me, if we're looking around that time of year.
Was that a
Well,
Saturday?
that's a,
Yeah, it would
It's
be
Groundhog
Saturday.
Day. Right, so it can just keep going over and over again the whole day.
Yeah.
You really want to do that to us?
oh my goodness, that's a horrible
I
thing.
know you celebrate Groundhog Day yourself, but
Well, that actually is I'll be getting back from the mayor's conference that Friday, and no reason we couldn't do it the second. It's just that if there's any preparation, I'll be gone 3 days before that. It might be better to do it the 9th,
Also Saturday?
also
Yeah.
Saturday.
We're looking at all Saturdays. Okay, 2/9,
Well, does anybody have any conflicts on the
not that I
9th?
know of.
I'm good with the 9th.
All right, well, let's tentatively put that down.
Okay.
It's, it's far enough in advance. If something comes up, we have to change it, we will change it. And, everybody okay with the conference room, or would you like to go to some exotic venue like Aruba?
Yeah, why don't we go
George's on
to
York.
George's?
We could.
Well, I think, Jim, if you want to look into that option, see how that can accommodate, and we'll go from there.
Check out a couple options.
Yeah.
I always think
Stuff up.
it just says something when you're away from the location to be able to get your thoughts straight and project things. So let's figure on the 9th, and unless we change it.
Venue to be determined.
Great.
More to come. Now, do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So carried.
All right.
But before I dismiss everybody, can I ask who the group is with us, the young men that were with us tonight? Are you scouts, or?
Yeah, we're Taneytown's Boy Scouts.
Oh, good. Well, welcome to the meeting, fellows. Come back again. Glad to have you. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Okay. That was easy. Jim, your house looks really fantastic.
There's